He got problems, she got problems. Only I got 411 problems. Say hi, what's up, y'all? Welcome and welcome back to my channel. And welcome to another story time. And welcome to You Left Him for a Reason Part 4. Okay. So me and my little yeah had now during this time, like we had went things and moved things to the next level. Things were kind of going good. And in between, unbeknownst to me, like things are rocky over there, so to speak, kind of, sort of. And then he also got another little situation that I didn't know about at this time. Right? But with that going on, with him, with it being rocky, he's kind of going back and forth with his situation, because it'll be like, you know what I'm saying? Like at one point in time, he was like, I like you. You know what I'm saying? And he had did something kind of major to where it was like, oh, okay, you trust me, right? And after that, that's when I found out about the situation, and it pissed me off. Well, you had did something major, and I would say a month later, a couple of weeks, really. It really was like a couple of weeks. It almost like right on the dot, month later, I found out about the other little situation. Right? And so it's like, So I was already hesitant about the first situation, found out about the second situation. And now what's keeping me and making me like pull away from you, back away from you type situation is like, it'll be good. It'll be good. It'll be flowing. We vibing. The vibe is everything. And then you'll be upset because the other situation, the first situation that was rocky, you're debating on if you want to go back. And there is nothing wrong with that. Like, I'm not knocking that, but it's like you will pull me in, and then when she start to pull you in over here, the first situation, it's like, everybody else is nothing. Everybody else is nothing. And this is me just finding out about the second situation that you got over here. And the only reason I found out about the second situation is because she continually started tagging you in your posts on social media. And something was like, click on the name, because you kept tagging him, especially after you thought, hindsight looking back 2020, after you thought the first situation was completely done with. Whole time, like, he literally making rounds. Like at this point, it's a multiple choice situation. And then at this point, I just know about 2 people. Anyway, so it's like, it'll be good and it'll be flowing, and things are kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like things will be going good. And then it's like, when the other situation 1 make you mad, it's like, oh, like now it's like I don't exist, and I just need that situation to work. Because if that situation work, everything else is nothing. You barely mention situation 2. Barely. The only reason I find out about situation 2 is because she's tagging you on social media. And when I go and hit the name, I was like, And I had already did like my little research looking at the pictures, because you pictured up over there. And I'm like, oh, okay. Mind you, at this point in time, as I said, I don't do hints, and we haven't put nothing on the table as far as we're monogamous, we're dating, we're together. You would throw hints, but when it would be something would come down to my social media, you would be feeling a certain way. But I ain't that type of chick where I'm looking at your social media, or I'm constantly stalking you, or I'm constantly trying to figure out what you're doing. Because I'm the type of chick where the one way or another, it's gonna come out. Either it's gonna come out in the wash or the rinse, babe, or the wash or the rinse. One way or another, it's it's gonna pop out. It's gonna come out. Or as they say, what's done in the dark will come in the light. But the thing was, we wasn't hiding. We wasn't hiding. It just wasn't nobody business. It just wasn't nobody business. How y'all go about and do things, I never did. So I never needed social media validation. I've never needed that. I never needed that. My thing is, if you with me, you fuck with me. Period. It's not that what's understood don't need to be explained. No, explain some ish to me. Put some names on it. And at this point in time, we haven't put any names on it. So I can't really say ish. But once I did my research and found out about situation two, the next time you come at me about some ish on my social media and these dudes hitting me up and liking my pictures, the next time you bring it up, I'm bringing up situation two. Because if you gonna have that energy, boo, I'm gonna need you to keep that with yourself, not just with me and not just with my page. Don't be trying to put me in a little cage in a little zoo over here where you can come pet me when you want to. Oh no, I've never been that type of female. I've never been that type of girl. And I keep telling y'all, like, I ain't no dumb bitch. I ain't dumb. So I can play the role. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just want this to be a cut buddy thing. You just want this to be a situationship. We get along to get along. That's what it is. But I had noticed a back and forth, right? I had noticed a back and forth. And that was the thing. Not only was it was intense and I really liked you, but the back and forth thing was always constantly make me be like, retreat, step back. Because you don't know what the hell you doing. You don't know what you want. You all over the place. And so instead of me getting hurt, because this feeling like a Devin 2 situation, let me fall back and let me see it through, my boy. Let me let this play out, right? So while you going through your situation at this point, you had you tick me off. Hold on, because I want to get the timeline correct. Because I want to make sure. I'm trying to figure this out. Hold on. Because I want to make sure I'm putting the timeline correct of when Devin came. When it came down to my little yeah. Because I'm still working. I think it was after this situation. Or was it before? But I know, like, he would throw little hints, even when it would be something like I would ask, and I'm talking about my little yeah. It would be things that I would ask, and he would answer. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So anyway, again, he was like, "I like you. I want this. What we doing? Because I want this. I like you." He initiated that. Me, I like you too, but at this point in time, I'm saying I'm not good in relationships, which in all actuality, I'm very good at relationships. I just don't take no BS when it come down to it. Bottom line, it's like when I see some stuff, I'm retreating, basically. And so to you, it looks like you don't know what you're doing. You scared. You know what I'm saying? Like you playing, you going back and forth. And for me, it's like, you don't even realize, like, I don't recognize and I put two and two together, and 4 over 4 over here is 8. Like I'm compiling information and I'm looking at your, how you maneuver and how you like your patterns, as he used to say. I'm looking at your patterns and I'm picked up on it, and you don't have a clue. And so it's always protect Angel at all costs. Always, that little girl is always protect Angel at all costs. Period. Because anytime she go out to protect some other people shit on her, mess on her. You feel me? So it's, I like you, I want this, what we doing? And I'm like, I like you too, but I'm not good at this. And what you like doing at this point in time, I've already did on repeat. So you're going out, your level of going out is not my level of going out. My level of going out is I don't want to do what you want to do, because what your turn up is right now is I already did on repeat and it's played out to me. So let's do something different. And when I said that, you was like, oh, and took it as like I didn't want to go out with you because you already had an issue thinking like you don't show me off, you don't tag me, you don't do none of this, like you ashamed of me. And it's like, why do you need validation from these people? I never understood that. Why do you need validation from these people? Like I don't get. And it's not like I'm ashamed of you. My business is my business. Because I've learned when you put your stuff out there, there's people who gonna talk you out of it. There's people who gonna come with all these other stories. It's like y'all don't even want to hear none of that. I don't even want to hear none of that. Right? So anyway, this particular time, no, it was after. It was so this particular time, you are over, and again, my Facebook had started picking up, and I'm commenting, thank you, you sexy, you fine, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank she pretty. Like literally, you know what I'm saying? Like my Facebook is popping, it's popping. The notifications is going off on repeat. Not just Facebook, my Instagram, because my little yeah was the one who's like, you should get an Instagram. Made an Instagram. Instagram started popping off the jump. He wasn't even on there, but started popping off the jump. So my phone at this point, and I was like, "Ooh, she pretty." So it started getting to the point where you weren't liking it. You weren't liking my social media. And there's one particular time you came over, and so you started talking about, I think it's real disrespectful how you got all these dudes on, you got these dudes coming, and you talking back to these dudes, you telling them thank you, you liking the comments, like what we doing? Like what we doing? I think that's disrespectful. And I said, oh yeah? I said, it's disrespectful for somebody to tell me I'm pretty and me saying thank you, which is manners, but it's cool for a bitch to tag you? You got quiet. Oh, you ain't noticed that. You didn't know I noticed and peeped. Situation 2 over here tagging you. You ain't know I noticed that. Yeah. And I done went through all the pictures and I put 2 and 2 together. Y'all were real friendly. Real friendly, my guy. Real friendly. Why you over here trying to monitor and be a moderator on my social media? Y'all real friendly. You got quiet as the library. So when I walked out of the room, Ty was like, stop yelling at that man. Huh. You don't even realize, baby, I just wanted to fight. Hold on. So it was whatever for me, because at this point in time, like I had cooked a little breakfast or whatever, and was taking the stuff back to the kitchen. And that's how you know you was hitting it good, because I'm cooking breakfast. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, you quiet, you quiet. Basically, as a library, I went clean my little kitchen, because that's what my grandmama taught me. That's what my mama taught me. You clean as you go. That way you don't have a lot of dishes and stuff when you get done cooking. So I don't put the little stuff up, clean them little kitchen, make sure my kitchen's straight. Come back in the room, and you staring up at the ceiling, still quiet. Chess, not checkers, baby. Because you had been talking about my social media for a minute, because you had even mentioned like, yo, you know what I'm saying? You got all this stuff going up on your Instagram. So how you find my Instagram? At this point in time, because I don't do the contact thing. You did the contact thing. So it was like, you know what I'm saying? Like Instagram, like, oh, this person is on Instagram. Instagram, mind your business. Stop giving out my information. That's why I never do contact stuff situation. Because why are you giving out my business? So you had said, made your little remark about Instagram, because I'm telling you to do the Instagram and I ain't even on there. Well, you tripping about Facebook, so why would I tell you about Instagram? Because Instagram was worse. Instagram was worse. Just saying. So anyway, I'm starting to notice, like, at this point in time, you made the statement, like, I never thought you would be that type of girl. What you talking about? I never thought you would be that type of girl where you stalking other people's page. Oh, now you trying to flip it. Now you trying to use reverse psychology. No, I'm gonna have ninja over here. I'm gonna have ninja over here, baby. I know the game, and I've been through this because it's the same issue. I mean, it's the same little tactic that Devin used. It's the same tactic that every dude that I've been with used. That's, you know what I'm saying. Get it off me to reverse that energy back on you, so I can make you think it's just your fault when I've been caught. Basically, what you talking about? Oh, because I've never taken you for an insecure girl. Oh, now I'm insecure. Oh, now the only person who has been complaining about any kind of social media has been you. So that means you're insecure. Because I wasn't talking about social media. I was looking, building up my information, but I ain't say ish. Because, as far as I know, neither one of us has said we were monogamous. I had already took a couple of steps back because of situation one. I wasn't really clocking situation two. Because the most that you talked about, the only person you talked about was situation one. You never talked about situation two. So I wasn't really, she wasn't even on the radar. Situation one was, and I was already taking steps back because it'll be 1 week we good, and the next week it's all about situation one. 1 week, the next week we own it, we good, we popping, and the next week it's all about situation one. And I was like, yeah, you don't know what you want to do, so I'm just gonna protect Angel at all costs. But the next time you brought up my social media, and the next time you trying to check me on some ish, I'm bringing up situation two because she had been chilling for a minute, been tagging you for a minute. Tag, 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 tag. Tag, you're it. On repeat. Tag, tag. Like, it was like you were basically saying, he's mine, you made him, had him once, but I got him all the time. That wasn't true. You had no idea I existed. Neither one of you did. But maybe situation one kind of had an inkling. Because I was around. And she knew you don't let anybody and everybody around your kids. So maybe she had a little inkling. Because again, I don't know what you're telling people. Because I've never been the type, like I said, I've never needed validation from anybody. Never needed validation from anybody. I always do me. Because I'm woman enough to take whatever consequences come with it. Feel me? So at this point in time, you trying to flip it on me and trying to make it seem like, oh, I'm insecure because I'm stalking this girl page. Oh no, love. I'm not stalking her page. I was doing what normal people do. Because when my cousin tagged me, a lot of the people who was on my page and who was hyping me up was because they came from my cousin page, because my cousin used to tag me all the time. Amber used to tag me all the time. Again, me and Amber used to go out. Every time you turn around, me and Amber was going to party. Party, 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 party. Because what did I call him? Promoter? I think I called him party promoter. Anyway, in the Why I Stopped Drinking series, when me and Amber went to the party, he was always inviting us. Me and Amber was always going, and he would hit me up and be like, "Hey, I'm making sure y'all coming." So me and Amber was always going to the party, and so before we got dressed, Amber would tag me. Amber would tag my pictures, and she would tag her. And to the point I had to tell, I was like, "Girl, stop doing it," because Amber would tag me before we went to the party, and it's like, stop doing it. I don't care about you tagging me, but do it after we come back. I've never been the type to let people know my moves. I tag you or I post pictures after I'm done. So a lot of the people that was coming on my page and my page that had helped my page boost up was literally from Amber's page. A lot of the people, even the dude that I had moved in with for 24 to 48 hours in that story time, he came from Amber's page because Amber tagged me. So anytime you tag people, normal social media, who this is, and going to their page. Oh, they seem cool because the whole point was it's social media. It's the point to be social. Your issue was you got caught. Mm-hmm. You got caught. And you didn't put situation 2 on the table. Right. So anyway, you was going out of town with situation 2. You was going out of town. You went out of town. And when you went out of town, when I said what I need to say, baby, I'm done with it. I'm not about to go back and forth. I'm not about to be in the corner. I'm not doing all that. When I say what I need to say, I'm done. And I knew I had won the fight because you was quiet. You was sitting over there thinking and contemplating. You tried to do it with Uno reverse, and baby, it's an absolutely no for me. And you can catch this drop 4. You can catch this other drop 4. You can catch this reverse back to me, skip you, Uno out. Cause who? Who we playing with? Oh, okay. So you went out of town, and while you out of town, you texted me saying, "Oh, I thought you was a different girl. Oh, I thought. I said, listen, that reverse psychology you trying to pull is not gonna work with me. I was like, you're upset because you got caught and you didn't tell me about her. I said, so now you can't use my social media against me because I got ish on you. So either we're going to stay real monogamous or we're just going to keep doing what we're doing. If we keep doing what we're doing, you can do you and I'm going to do me. In between, if we want to, do a little pickle tickle, then we can do a little pickle tickle. If we not, I don't want to hear nothing else about my social media because you got a whole situation going on. You got 2 situations going on. Who you playing with? Who you playing with? Nah, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. We gonna work it out. We gonna be straight. Oh, okay. Basically saying, nah, we not stopping because that's how I am. It's like either we gonna stop or what we doing? Cause you out of town with her. Cause ain't you out of town? Ain't you out of town with her? We gonna be straight. We gonna be straight. All right. Oh, okay. We'll just talk about it when I get back. Why are we talking? What is there to talk about? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? We'll just talk when I get back. Oh, okay. So anyway, you come back. We talk. It's like, okay, so what we doing? I don't know. You tell me because you got a lot going on. I don't. You got a lot going on. I'm not gonna be played with. And he was real with. He was like, and honestly, I really don't know what I'm doing. One day I want to be over here with situation 1. One day I want to be over there with situation 2. And he's like, and then one day I want to be here. Oh, okay. And he was like, so I don't know. At this point in time, I don't know. At this point, I'm just dating. And at this point in time, that's not telling me we monogamous. You dating. When you dating all, you know what I'm saying? You dating people, you date all 3. You date them all, sis, until you pick and choose who you want. And just because you dating them all don't mean you sleep with them all. But of course, for him, you sleeping with them all and dating them all. Situation 1 got the upper hand. Situation 2 thinks she got the upper hand, but shit, oblivious. It's not oblivious. Me, I'm just sitting back watching. Because at this point in time, how we got close was I was offering sanctuary, refuge. So in my mind, what I did was to protect Angel at all costs. Let's take this back to sanctuary. Take this back to refuge. What I said in my mind. I ain't say nothing to him because in his mind, he had already said he don't know what he doing. And I have to respect that. Right? So with you not knowing what you doing, like we still talk, we still cool. it's more on, I would say more on the friendship type situation to where we're talking, texting. If he having a real bad day, like you hit me up or whatever, when it comes down to that. So like I would be the friend. So Devin pops up, and Devin is continually, and what I realized, a lot of people watch my social media, and I keep telling y'all, well, I tell you to come on YouTube because YouTube will give you more in depth, but YouTube don't tell you everything either. I'm just that type of person. I can make you think you know everything and you don't have a clue. You don't have a clue. And that's the way I like it. Anyway, so Devin pops back up because you watching my social media. And at this point in time, like I am very vocal on my Facebook. And you know, Ty had went through his bouts of when he was stealing. That's a story time in the Tyler the Villain playlist. Basically, what is it? Takis and Oreos, like when he was stealing, where you was stealing for the little boy, but you had stole before. You don't think you was stealing because you was just opening it inside the store. But yeah, that's all over on his playlist, child. Anyway, Ty him went through that, and at this point in time, it's like I'm tired of working. Like I'm tired of this. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. And I used to put that out there, and this is why I tell women all the time, even when I'm telling my story times to those who listen, especially when they're young girls. Yeah, please be careful. Please be careful. Be careful what you put out there, because there's people who's watching you who will use that to their advantage. So please be careful what you put out there. Please be careful with putting out your location. There's nothing wrong with you taking your videos and your snaps, but post it when you came back, when you come back after you done. That's how I maneuver, which is why I told Amber to stop posting. I didn't care about her tagging me, but it's like, girl, do it after. And she couldn't get there. She was like, that don't even make sense. Yes, it do. She get it now, I think. I don't know, but before she, I think she felt like I was trying to tell her, like, girl, stop telling everybody out every move, because everybody, just because you got a lot of people watching you, and even your family members, everybody don't like you. Everybody ain't cool. Everybody looking for a way where they can get in, get you vulnerable, and beat you down. And people be like, oh, you the only one who think like that, and then I be spot on. So anyway, so Devin was watching my social media. And so at this point in time, like I'm venting, like, oh, I'm so tired of this. And then I'm going back and forth with my baby daddy, one of the leaders, going back and forth with you. Cause anytime that my son would ask questions, because I know this one specific time I had put out there, my son had asked, he was like, why my dad? It was something in the long of the lines of why my dad doesn't love me like he loved my siblings, my brother and sister. And so I had put that out there. What I said was, as a mom, how do I explain to my son that, how do I answer this question, basically? And I had asked, and I was like, the father's on the father's on my timeline, help me out. So dudes was commenting, like the post was really going off, because it was literally fathers, single fathers, because Party Promoter is a single father. And so he was basically the first one to comment. And so he was like, you doing a great job. He was like, tell him, like, you gonna have that missing feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna have that missing feeling. He was like, because he got that from his kids about their mom. So he was like, you gonna have that missing feeling. You doing a good job. You just got to reassure him. And so I really think, and this is my assumption, it was one of his siblings who went on a fake page and started talking and started accusing and started doing drama type situation. And the whole time you was talking out of your neck because you didn't know what the hell you was talking about. Because all the time, every time I turn around, y'all was on defense. And here recently is when I did In Love with the Same Man, and when I had all these receipts, because y'all been building and throwing lies at my kid. Had my kid whole life up with your lies. But y'all was being fed lies too. Yeah. Anyway. So that had come into place. So Devin hit me and he was like, we really need to talk. And I was like, Devin, for the love of God, For the love of God, let it go. And so he was like, no, we really need to talk. We really need to talk. Like I'm telling you, God, so it's not fun. The way that y'all be using God, baby. God told me that you're my wife. I'm telling you, God told me that you're my wife. And so at this point in time, I don't like Devin. I don't. But I'm tired. I'm tired. And when I tell you the enemy knows how to come in and know how to dress it up and know how to look to pull you right on in. And it would be come and the enemy could come as everything you ever wanted and even the things that you have said in private. So I was like, what's up? And so he was like, no, let's talk, let's meet face to face, let's meet face to face. And I was like, Devin, I'm not in the mood. He's like, at least give me that. At least give me that. I don't think things went well between us the last time that we met up. And I was like, no, you got mad because I didn't want to have sex with you. Okay. He was like, but you gotta, you know what I'm saying? And you gotta understand. Just give me a chance. Just give me a chance to explain. Just give me a chance to explain. I was like, okay. And so he was like, all right. So I'm, when we talk, I'm gonna put everything out on the table. I'm gonna put everything out on the table. I was like, Devin, we not going through this, mind you, because we had already had that conversation, and I think that was in what you call it, in the random DM. We had already had that conversation where it was like you gonna put everything out on the table, then you call me the next day, and I ain't put everything out on the table, child. Because before I started with my little yeah, Devin had already been there. Devin had already been there. Devin had already been there. Devin had already split the block. He had already been back. He had already been in my condo before the security guard, before my little yeah. Devin had already been there. And how I remember, because I had no furniture, I ain't have nothing in there. So Devin had already been in there. I ain't tell no. I ain't tell nobody. I was letting him put everything out on the table. And the next day, that's when I was like, I'm done. My little yeah started. Devin had already been there. Nobody has overlapped. Okay? Nobody has overlapped. So, that reminds me of something my little yeah said. He said, I gotta watch you. You a slick little something. Am I? Am I? Everything that I learned from a man. I just do it a little better. Anyway, so he had already been in there. We had done had that conversation. And at this point in time, Devin is no longer in the Jeep. Devin was in the 350Z that I talked about in the drive to Tallahassee. So Devin is in that. He's in the 350Z. Devin, again, as I told y'all, was a millionaire because of the lawsuit about his mom. Devin would switch cars every 6 months. He liked 6 months. Anyway. So you hit me up and he was like, no, let's just talk face to face. I was like, Devin, we not doing this. We already did this. We gonna lay everything out on the table. You didn't lay everything out on the table. You lied to me. Let's let it be. I'm already talking to somebody else. Now I ain't gonna front. We haven't established nothing with my little yeah, but we vibing. And I can use him to my benefit to get you to leave me alone. Cause it's like it's somebody in my life. It's somebody in my life. Baby, that doggone Devin said he ain't supposed to be there. He ain't supposed to be there. He ain't supposed to be there because if he was supposed to be there, he would recognize the Jew that you are, laying it on thick. The Jew that you are, and he would go ahead and marry you. I'm trying to marry you. Again, you don't realize all this time that we have been back and forward, that marriage thing they don't really do nothing to me. What I pay attention to is how many times you lying to me, how many times you trying to play in my face, how you show up when I need you. Do I expect men to be monogamous? No. I really think men can't be monogamous, to be totally honest. If there is a man out there who is, kudos to you. I really don't believe men can be monogamous. I just believe you're able, if there is somebody else, you don't bring it in your lady face. Like you check the other chick. Which is why a lot of people are doing poly now, because it's like, I like more than one. I don't know how to be monogamous. We really wasn't made to be monogamous, to be totally honest. We weren't. Which is why y'all be like, don't be liking nobody pictures, because that's cheating. Girl, because let me go through your likes. Because how many times Lance Grove pops up on my timeline on Facebook, baby, I'm drooling. Drooling. And that man is married. And I be like, yeah, she lucky. And I'm not saying that he cheat, but if, you know what I'm saying, if he really like his mate, you probably not gonna cheat. I'm not saying that y'all don't. I'm just saying I find it very hard to believe that none of y'all don't. Just saying. But if you don't, here's the thing. I've always seen dudes check females. So if it's somebody you don't want to cheat on, if it's somebody you don't want that type of situation with, you're going to check her. You know what I'm saying? So with Devin, it was like, boy, please stop trying to lay it on thick. What do you want? What do you want? All this mumbo jumbo you talking to me means nothing. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? So he was like, I've been watching your Facebook. Okay. He was like, and I can tell like you're tired. You're tired of raising a child by yourself. You're tired of working. You tired of, you tired of the lifestyle that you got going on. True. Okay. So I just think, just go ahead. Just go ahead. We get married. You move with me to Miami. And I just take care of you inside. You ain't gotta work. You ain't gotta do nothing. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta do none of that. I take care of you. I make the money. You know what I'm saying? But I just, I want to live in Miami. I'm tired of the city we in. Let's move to Miami. Let's just go have a good time down there. Let's live down there. Only thing I ask is like, you know what I'm saying? Like you cook, you clean type situation. But you won't be raising Tyler by yourself. And I'm pretty sure Tyler would love to get out of the city he in and move to Miami. Tyler don't even like cities. Tyler would rather move to the country. You don't know that. Tyler's not a city fan. Tyler would rather be in the country. You don't know that. But at this point in time, he's right. And I'm kind of low. Me and my little kind of beefing because he's trying to figure out what he want to do, and he's really kind of concentrating on situation 1. Again, I barely heard about situation 2. Mostly heard about situation 1. So you really concentrating on that. But I'm the type of person, I'm not going to ask you for something that I don't do myself. And we have said we're going to put everything on the table, even though you didn't do that. But again, I'm not going to ask for something that I'm not doing. So I was like, well, let me think about it. And he got quiet. And he was like, no, you for real? And I was like, yeah, for real. Because Devin had my number. He had my number. He had my number. So, because he had been to the condo. Nobody knows Devin had been to the condo. Maybe Amber might have knew. I don't know. So anyway, Amber may have known. I don't know. Because I know Amber met my little and Amber was saying, she was like, I really like y'all together. I like how y'all vibe. Even roommate from hell had met my little He had met people. And so she was, even her, she was like, I like how y'all vibe. Like, I like y'all together. I like y'all together. And at this point in time, there's nothing. We haven't put a title to nothing. And that's what I kept telling them, even though they felt like I was lying to them. And I was like, I'm telling you, like, there's no title. We're just vibing. And so, yes, I was like, let me think about it. And so he was like, okay, okay. And so he was like, I'll give you a week. I'll give you a week. Because within, he was like, after that, like, I'm moving. I'm leaving. And I was like, all right. So during that week, like the first like 2 days, like I'm contemplating, like, should I do this? Should I want to do this or whatever? Should I move? Like, I ain't gotta work. I don't like him. I don't like him. I don't love him or nothing, but I ain't gotta work no more. I ain't gotta, I'm tired. I don't feel like doing this no more. I ain't got a parent time by myself no more. Might not be a bad vibe. I got family in Miami. My family in Miami been trying to get me to move to Miami for years. Because at this point in time, they still live in Miami. They haven't moved to Fort Lauderdale. So they been trying to get me to move to Miami for years. Like, because you don't come down here enough no more. Move down here. While you're staying there, come down here. So I was like, I was like, okay, so I thought about it for 2 days. Even did shot a little hypothetical to Tyler, like, so what you thought about, what you think about moving? What you think about moving to like Miami? What you think about moving to Miami? Or what you think about, like I'm getting married and us having a family. So in Ty's mind, you think I'm talking about my little yeah. And so he perked up like, yeah. And I was like, hold on. And I was like, you'll be excited to leave the city? And so when he was like, with him, right? And I was like, oh, no. And so he was like, oh, nah. I was like, even like if I'm getting married, you stress how you want a family. And so he was like, well, Mom, who you be getting married to? And so I was like, Devin. And so he was like, Devin? He was like, Devin? I was like, yeah. He was like, Ma, you left him for a reason. And he's like, can I go outside and play? Yep. And I'm like, because in my mind, I'm thinking, Ty want a family regardless, y'all. And I'm tired. I'm tired. I don't like Devin. I don't love Devin. Only thing I'm thinking about is, girl, I ain't got to work no more. I can just cook and clean. It's not funny. I can just cook and clean. Child. Yeah, I can just cook and clean. I can focus on Tyler, like be at the beaches most of the time. And in my mind, it's like I ain't really gonna be home and be with my family because I have family down there. You don't know that. So I was like, okay, well, at least I gotta give the respect to my little yeah and let him know like what's going on. And so I texted him and I was like, I really need to talk to you. So whenever you get time, hit me up. We need to talk on the phone. I'm not even gonna front. I give props where props due, right? So when it came down to my little yeah, when we first started, I was like, let me test this man and see if this is about sex or whatever, right? And I'll be like, I need $100 by 2:00. Let's just say it's 1:55, and I was like, I need $100 by 2:00. It's just going bad, or I need it because I'm $100 short on my rent. Mind you, I'm not $100 short on my rent. I just want to see if you here for the cookie snatch or you really, you know what I'm saying? You really my friend. Like you really, for real, like the ish that you saying. And so he would fuss and be like, stop waiting till the last minute. I hate that ish. If you got something going on, you need something, you let me know. You don't wait till the last minute. I ain't gonna front. That was a turn on. But he would make it happen. Like by 2 on the dot or 2 on 1, I had the money. I was like, oh. And then there was a certain thing that I could hit him up and be like, can I have this? Can I have this? Can I have this? And he'd be like, yeah, you can do this, do X, Y, and Z. And it got to the point where Amber was like, girl, I'm married and my husband don't do that. Y'all not together? And I'd be like, no, we just vibing. She was like, right. My husband don't do that. But he doing that for you? So when I needed my little yeah, he came through. I had to question nothing. I didn't have to beg. I didn't have to fight. I can shoot a text and he made it happen. So I was like, when you get a chance, I need to talk to you. And so he was like, all right. So he was like, all right. So it was maybe like an hour or two. He had hit me, he had called. He was like, what you do? And I was like, excuse me? Excuse me? Now, because mind you, I would hit him up. I believe my assumption, you were so used to a certain way that females would treat you, or, actions would do, for you, or that they would do to you. Like when it came down to things that he would say, like, well, you misunderstood, or so you overreacted on this. I have no problem apologizing, or if I'm wrong, I have no problem being like, oh man, I was wrong, or whatever, and I'll let you know. So when it came down to like apologizing or whatever, I'll hit him up and I'd be like, oh man, I'm sorry. And he'd be like, what you do? And like he would call, he'd be like, what you do? What happened? What you do? And I'd be like, what? And I would explain. He'd be like, oh, okay. Oh. So you would think like my actions like that was weird. Which a lot of dudes think that's weird because y'all not used to it or whatever. So anyway, so he called and I was like, okay, so we said we was gonna put everything out on the table after you came back from your little trip with situation 2. You said you was gonna put everything out on the table. You don't know what you're doing. Like we giving each other the respect or whatever. And he was like, yeah. Cause even with that, he didn't know, but I had figured out his little schedule. So he was still honest in his ish, to be totally honest. He was like he dating them all, to be totally honest. It was a time when he'd be real hyped for situation 1, a time he'll be real hyped for situation 2, and a time he'll be hyped for me. And he had gotten to the point where he had a schedule. And I had figured out the schedule because I pay attention to details. And so I brought it up when we had argued. When we argued, because he would try to make it seem like I was trying to throw myself or fit myself in places that I wasn't supposed to be in. And I'd be like, sir, you invited me in that. Because every time I try to remove myself or leave you alone, here you come. Because I know at one point, I used to walk the trail every morning. You were calling me after you woke up, because at this point in time, you was working at night. And you were calling me while you were at situations 2's house. So you would make certain places and certain things. Like I knew your schedule. I had figured it out. And you was making it work. I was actually giving you props because you was making it work. You had 3 different women on a schedule and was pulling it off. Real talk. You was making it work. But it had gotten to the point where it was getting frustrating because situation 2 and situation 1 was fighting. And they were stressing you out, and you was coming and trying to bring that anger over to my joint, and that wasn't gonna work for me. So I was repeatedly removing myself. Anyway, this was before all that. That was a whole nother situation. Sure. Anyway, so you called and I was like, oh, okay. I was like, so my ex-boyfriend came back and my ex-boyfriend wants me to move to Miami with him. He was like, he just out of the blue wants you to move to Miami. And I was like, well, he's been kind of barking for a while. And I was like, he was barking before me and you got together. He was barking right before you started coming over. He's been barking for a while. And he's been barking and asking me to marry him. And with this, God told him I'm his wife type situation. And so he was like, do you want to marry him? And to me, it flipped over from like my little yeah to my friend, which is what we would do. Which is why it was like, I don't think we could leave each other alone, was because of like the friendship type situation. Because it was like, I can say this to somebody else and they'll be like, that don't make sense. But I can go say it to him and he was like, oh, I get it. And then bounce off so many other different aspects of the situation, which is what I would do for him. So anyway, so it was like, no. And so he was like, do you want to marry him? And I was like, no, not really. And so he was like, but you telling me because you thinking about it. And I was like, oh yeah. And I was like, because I don't have to work no more. He's gonna, he want to move me to Miami. He was like, you spent summers in Miami. You know that's not a place you want to live. That's the place you visit. Which is true. No, not to Miami. But you live there. Everybody who has lived there, it's not a place that you want to live. It's the place where you come visit. It is. And the reason that's why y'all have a good time, because y'all coming to visit. Y'all not living there. And y'all not getting like the bad parts. Real talk. Because most of my family don't even live in Miami anymore. They moved to Fort Lauderdale. Lauderdale it's like almost, how can I explain it? Lauderdale is like the calmer version of Miami, so to speak. It's like you can party, you can have a good time, but at a certain amount of time, like everything shut down, you still go home and you go to work. So basically you have like a corporate life. You can have a party life too, but the party life shuts off. Miami, you partying all night, which is crazy. It's crazy, but I mean, you know what I'm saying? Anyway. So yeah. So I was like, that's true. And I was like, but I'm pretty sure like he's not gonna live in the parts of Miami that we grew up in or that my family was living at the time. We're not gonna move there. Like I was like, he got money, like he a millionaire. And he got quiet. And so I was like, he a millionaire, like so he can we ain't gotta go to like Miami, or if we're in Miami, like we go South Beach, basically. We go to South Beach and live. Cause I'm pretty sure that's where he going. You're a millionaire. So of course you're not going you're not going to the other cities. You going, you know what I'm saying? You're going to South Beach, where everybody wanted to go. I want to go to South Beach. I want to go to South Beach. Yeah. Overrated. Anyway, no, for real. And no shot at South Beach. But if you really want to have fun, it is to go like to the little cities. Never mind. No. Go to South Beach. Go to South Beach. Never mind. Let me not even set y'all up like that. Anyway. So yeah, so he was like, so if you're not in love with him, you don't want to like make it make sense. But he was like, why do people feel like they get married just to get married? Why is that? Like, why get married just to get married? And I was like, at this point in time, like, I'm tired. I'm tired of doing this by myself, and I don't want to work no more. I don't want to work no more. And so he was like, he's moving you away from your support, from your family up here. And I was like, I got family down there. And he was like, oh, okay, so your family down there gonna help you with Ty, like your family up here help you with Ty? And that was a no. And no shot to my family down there, but Ty didn't know them. So it wasn't that they wouldn't establish that or would help me, or they wouldn't help me. Ty knew my family in the city that I'm in. So he was right about that. And I was like, good point. And he was like, and you don't even love him. He's like, you don't even love him. He's like, okay. Because I can hear like he was getting frustrated. And so he was like, flip it. And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, flip it. He was like, what if you really wanted to marry him and he was only marrying you for convenience? He didn't love you. He really didn't want to be with you. He was only marrying you for convenience. And he was like, and you left him for a reason. When he said, and I was like, Ty had said it and he had said it. And so to me, it was that wake up call, like, girl, that's not something that you really want to do. That's the second warning. Let it be. So I was like, all right. And I was like, well, I'm gonna think about it and I'll let you know what I decide. And I was like, he's giving me a week to decide, so I'll let you know. And so he was like, he's giving you a week to decide. And I was like, yeah. He was like, so you've been thinking about this? And I was like, yeah. And so he was like, why would you even be thinking about this? And I was like, what do you mean? And so he was like, number one, you left it for a reason, but what we doing? And I was like, excuse me? And so he was like, okay, yeah, good point, good point, good point. And he was like, yeah, we need to talk. I love you the most because you're definitely the dopest in real life. And that is the conclusion of you left him for a reason. Oh, my bad. I did hit Devin up. I did hit Devin up. I hit Devin up and let him know, like, no, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going. Yeah, I don't want to marry you. And I was like, I wish you the best. And yeah, and then the next time I heard from him was after that. Was like 3 years after that. 3 years after that. Yeah. But even when he hit me up that time, like I told him, I had turned him down and told him no. I was like, no, he was still trying to, like, this is gonna work. This is gonna work. And I turned him down. He told him no. And after that, I haven't heard from Devin at all. I haven't heard from Devin. So yeah, I love you the most because you're definitely the dopest in real life, and I'll see you in the next one. That's the conclusion. That's it. Goodbye. I love y'all. I do. Bye. And I don't want to make this another part. I think I just want to go ahead and finish this out because this should be ending it, to be totally honest. So, yeah. This is just going to be a little longer than the other ones. So, anyway. If you don't need anything else, I will rest now. He does. I just plugged up my phone.